What's up, guys? It's Friday, and so you know what that means. It's What the Fitness time. We're back, baby. And this week, we're talking about artificial sweeteners in your brain. So, I found this one all on my own. Actually, I gotta give credit. So, one of my Australian brethren, actually, sorry, he lives in Australia, originally from the UK. His name's James Smith. He's very funny, very sarcastic. If you like my stuff, if you like this video series, make sure you go check out James. Hilarious. Takes no prisoners, gives no fucks. So James actually tagged me in a story on Instagram, and actually his tag was at BioLane, have you got this one or shall I? So he is quoting from a guy named Ryan Fish, Fisch, talking about artificial sweeteners. Now, I always get very, when somebody starts talking about this, because I get very nervous about what they're going to say. Now, I will give Ryan this. This is no rhetoric I haven't seen before, but we're going to address it. So, anyways, apparently this guy is a very well-known strength and conditioning coach over there. I had personally never heard of him before, but apparently he's made his way into What the Fitness. So his little story here on Instagram says, sweetness receptors in the brain cause the body to prepare itself for an influx of calories. Even though those calories don't arrive, the body still craves them, and that may cause people to ultimately eat more calories overall, putting them at risk for weight gain. Regular sugar has caloric consequences, and one of those consequences is it triggers satiety, a sense of fullness or satisfaction. Your body is used to knowing that a sweet taste means you're ingesting energy in the form of calories. If you don't burn them off, it's going to convert to fat. Artificial sweeteners, however, confuse our bodies and weaken the link in our brains between sweetness and calories. That is what can lead to weight gain and cravings for sweeter and sweeter treats. So this is something I've heard a lot about artificial sweeteners over the past, decade. And I'm a very skeptical person, and whenever I hear a claim, my first thought is always, I wonder if that's bullshit. So I actually looked into this a while ago and saw that there was really no evidence to support this claim. Now, some people have said, well, it causes an insulin release, and that can make you hungry. So just addressing that, insulin of itself doesn't make you hungry. In fact, when they inject insulin into rats in studies, they stop eating. Now, am I saying that there's no interplay between insulin and appetite? There is, but it's very complicated, and it's certainly not the main driver of food intake. That being said, when these kinds of claims are made, this is what we call kind of speculation. So he's speculating based on a mechanism. The mechanism he's proposing is, okay, your brain is getting the indication that you had something sweet, but there's no calories. Therefore, it's going to make you overeat on other sweet things to try to compensate for that. Okay, mechanisms are great, but we need to look at actual outcome data. You can't just have mental masturbation about mechanisms and then have no actual hard outcome data. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is if we look at hard outcome data, we should see people who eat more artificial sweeteners end up eating more total calories, and they have higher levels of hunger. That's what we should see. Now, if we look at the literature, certainly there have been some observational studies where they've seen that people who eat more artificial sweeteners may be more likely to be obese. So people like to connect mechanism, observational study, and just kind of, jump over all the other science and go, aha, see?
Aha! Aha!
So we have these things called randomized control trials. Ryan, you may not be familiar with them. Allow me to explain. So the problem with observational studies is we have what are called confounding variables. So it could be reverse causation, meaning not so much that artificial sweeteners cause people to become obese, but that people who are obese are more likely to want to lose weight and therefore are partaking in consumption of more artificial sweeteners. So there have been several randomized control trials where they randomize people to either eating artificial sweeteners or drinking artificial sweeteners. The one I'm thinking of in particular, I just did a post on this the other week, where they had people either drink the equivalent of about 2 or 3 artificially sweetened diet beverages per day versus water. And guess what they saw?
What?
Not only did the group drinking the diet sodas not gain body fat, not only did they not lose less body fat, because I think they were both dieting, they actually lost more body fat. And they actually kept more body fat off. Now, when they looked further into the data about how to explain this, they found the people consuming the diet sodas had better satiety, lower levels of reported hunger. This is what we call actual outcome data. Not speculation, not mental masturbation, based on proposed mechanisms, not observational studies, actual hard outcome data. Now, am I saying you should drink artificial sweeteners instead of water?
No.
You can have water, certainly. What I'm saying is that if you struggle with hunger, it is possible that diet sodas, artificial sweeteners, may help offset that hunger because you can get something in that satisfies that sweet craving without consuming actual calories. They also looked at their insulin sensitivity, blood glucose, all these different markers, and found that basically they were all the same between groups, except for blood pressure, which was actually reduced more in the group consuming artificial sweeteners. Again, I don't think that's an artificial sweetener thing. I think that they just lost more weight, so they had better blood pressure outcomes. There was also a recent randomized controlled trial in humans where they gave artificial sweeteners versus water and showed no difference
0.0.
in the gut microbiome, because I know that's everybody's next thing is, well, it messes up your gut microbiome and this and that. There's no evidence of that in humans. So, moral of the story, Ryan, don't take things out of context. Look for actual hard outcome data. If somebody makes a claim, look at the hard outcome data, not mechanisms, not observational studies. Both of those are nice, but you have to have hard outcome data. And James, now I throw it back to you, and you can finish him off.
Finish him.
If you like. Finish him off.
Oh, yeah.
Not that way.